Hello and welcome to Learning Target 18 Day 1. We are talking about point slope form. So our essential question today is, why do we use point slope form? Well, first we need to figure out what point slope form is, and it is y minus y1 equals m, and then in parentheses times x minus x1. And it is a similar form of y equals start plus change times x minus 1 when you solve for y. And m is the slope, and x1, y1 is a point. So the reason why we are using this, why we would use this, is because if we are given the slope and a point, then we can just plug it into here and figure out what our equation is. So let's take a look at writing an equation when you're given a point and the slope. The first thing you do is you substitute the values into the formula. So if you'll look up top, we have x1 right here, and we have y1 here. That's our point down here in green. So when they give us a point, we're going to plug it into the equation. So we're going to substitute the values in. The second step is to distribute m. So if we go out up here, what that means is we're bombing m through. So we'll take m and multiply it by the x, and then multiply it by the x1. Our third step is to combine like terms. And then the fourth step is to solve for y. So let's get to it. Write the equation in point slope form from the given slope and the point, and then solve for y. So if we look up top, our equation is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So now what we can do is we can plug in what we know. And so what we know is we know our point. So I'm going to plug in, this is x1 and this is y1. So we have y minus 8 equals m times x minus a negative 1. And whenever we have minus a negative, it's going to turn into a positive. So we're adding 1, really. We also know one more piece, which is our m right here, so we're going to plug that in. So now we have y minus 8 equals 2 times x plus 1. The next step we do is we bomb this, oh, not that. We are going to erase that. We are bombing it through the 2. So what we have is y minus 8 equals 2x plus 2. Now what we do is solve for y, so we're going to add 8 to get y equals 2x plus 10. And if you'll recognize from the last section that this is in slope-intercept form. So now we have y equals mx plus b. So from this new point slope form, we can now pick out our y-intercept here. That's another fun fact. All right, we got one more of this kind. We have that our slope is 2/3 and that our point is 9/4. So we'll start out by writing point slope form. So we have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And I want you to know that the 9 is the x1 and the 4 is the y1. So then we'll go through and plug that in. Plug in what we know. We know m, and we know this point here. So we have y minus 4, so that's coming from here, equals, our m is 2/3 times x minus 9. So we got, again, we plugged in the point and the slope at the same time. Now what we do is bond this through to the x and to the negative 9. So we have y minus 4 equals 2/3 x minus 2/3 times 9. I'm going to write it as 9/1, and I'll show you why. So we can do 2/3 times 9. This has a 1 in common and a 3. Because if we divide 3 and 9 each by 3, 3 divided by 3 is this one right here, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. So instead of 2/3 of 9, we have -2 times 3, which is that -6. So what we really have here is y minus 4 equals 2/3 x minus 6. And then what we want to do is solve for y. So we're going to add 4 to both sides. So our final answer is y equals 2/3 x minus 2. So now we want to talk about writing equations when we're given a picture of a graph. So the first thing we do is count the rise over the run to find the slope. Then we choose any point and plug it into the formula. Seems pretty easy. So the first thing I want to do is pick out a point because that's going to be pretty easy. I want to pick this point here, this green point. So we know that it's 1, 2, -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, +6. So our point is -2, 6. And now we want to find the slope. So we're going to start at this point and go to this point. So we see how many we go up. 1, 2. So +2. And then we go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So +8. So our change in y over our change in x is 2/8. You can simplify that so that it'll be 1/4. So what that means is m equals 1/4. And now let's plug it into that formula. We have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And we know that this is x1 and this is y1. So let's plug it in. We have y minus 6 equals m. X, oh, we know what our m is, so let's put in 1/4. X minus a -2, so it's actually going to be adding 2. And then what we do is we bond through, boom, boom, and we get y minus 6 equals 1/4 x plus, and we know that 1/4 times 2, we can write that as 2/1. 2 goes into 4 2 times, and 2 goes into 2 1 time. So now we have y minus 6 equals 1/4 x plus 1/2. So we add 6. Y equals 1/4 x plus 6 and 1/2. So that's our new equation here. last one. So we have y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. And we want to pick a point. Let's pick this point here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 4. 1, 2, 3. Negative 3. So our point is negative 4, negative 3. Now we want to find the slope. And we already know from slope dude, I'll draw a picture of slope dude riding on our slope. So our slope is flat. And so he says this is 0 fun, so our slope, m, equals 0. And so I'll label this is x1, and this is y1. Now let's go through and substitute what we know. We have y minus a negative 3 equals m, which is 0, times x minus a negative 4. So let's clean this up here. We actually have y plus 3 equals, we bomb this through, and 0 times anything is just 0, so we have 0 left on this side. Now we subtract 3 through to get y equals negative 3, and that's our equation.